Hi everybody, all my followers, welcome to another video. Right, this video today is going to be the last video I'm going to do for the DS708, and basically since the upgrade for my DS708 became a reality, that I thought about making this video. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is going to be basically a pro and cons of the DS708. The first part of the video. The second part of the video is going to be just a quick review of the tool. All this, and I think this is quite important, all this is based on my experience with the tool over the last 4 years, maybe a little bit more, 4 years, let's say. So obviously, if you guys have this tool, for example, and you have owned this tool for longer than that, or you might have different experience with the tool, or if you have a tool like this on a workshop environment where it goes through more workload, you might come across situations and cars and problems that I never did, and it might be that you have a different opinion, and you might do not agree with everything I'm going to say, or you want to add something to what I'm going to say. Please just feel free, use the comments below, and just leave your opinion. Okay, so without further ado, let's gonna start. The first thing I want to start is with the One Pro, and One Pro for me, and that was from the day I bought the tool, is the quality of the tool versus the price, or the value for money, if you want. For what this tool costs, or cost when I bought it, it was well worth the money. And when I say well worth, I'm not trying to say it was expensive. I'm actually saying the opposite. This tool is a fraction of the price of other famous tools out there. And I tell you what, it does. I'm not gonna say obviously it does everything those tools can do, but it's not that far behind. This tool is absolutely amazing for a scanner. It does a lot more than only scan, and you can see from some of my videos. I'm going to leave links for the playlist of the DS708, and I'm going to leave a link for the playlist of all the repairs, or a big majority of the repairs I've been doing over the years. I already mentioned that I don't record, and I haven't done videos for the DS708 on every single car I've worked on. So, but I think there's a quite fair collection of videos. Like I said, I'll leave them in the description below. So yes, price for what you get is absolutely brilliant. Now a con. This one, I was a little bit reluctant about raising this as a con, for the simple fact that the tool was never designed, as far as I'm aware, was never designed to have that feature. So I think it's a little bit unfair for me to be here saying that's a negative about the tool, when the tool was never designed in first place to have that. But I'm just going to raise it, which is the fact that it has no battery. So for me, as a DIY, as a car enthusiastic, I don't do this my livelihood. My main job is a completely different field, nothing to do with car or electronics. So for me, it's not really a problem. And if you do work in the same way, if you have the tool, or if you want to have this tool because you own 2 or 3 cars, and you might have friends and family that you want to help and whatever, it's all you need. You don't need more than that. But I believe on a workshop environment, this tool would not be that effective, cost effective, I would say, for the simple fact that every time you need to move from car to car, you would have to power down the tool and then start the tool again. Obviously, we are only talking about a couple of minutes, but you know, I believe on a workshop environment that could be a little bit of a nuisance, you know, having to turn it off and all that. So I think even if they would thought about have a battery that would last, I don't know, 5 minutes, just so you could switch cars, that would be a benefit. But and I think another thing is the fact that the tool it does have room inside to have a battery, so was not really no excuse to not just put a battery in there. Or who knows, even a few AAA batteries somewhere, you know, anything like that would do. Okay, so from there we'll move to another Pro. Another Pro is easy to use, and I do know that a big majority of the tools nowadays, they are this easy to use. But I bought this tool 4 years ago. Even at the time, was still tools out there being sold brand new that they were much more tricky to work with. Probably once you get used to them, is as easy as anything. It's like everything. But this tool, from the start, I believe you can give this tool to a person that never worked on a car. Give him this tool, and I'm pretty sure he can figure it out quite easily on how to scan a car. You know, the menu is not that complicated. You have a few shortcuts at the top. You have the tab for the Asian cars. You have a scroll down on the side. European, USA, China. Data manager for your playbacks of the recorded data, whatever. The update. I'm not going to press that one because otherwise you're going to try to take me to the update. The setup, where you can set up the machine, and the power off is all you have. So it's not that complicated to work. It's really easy to use, very user friendly basically. From here we'll move to a con, and this one has been a pain in the ass a few times, to say the less, which is the length of this cable. If you have a car with the OBD port, like under the steering wheel or around that area, it's not so bad. But if you're gonna work on like Scenics, for example, Renault Scenics, which they have the OBD port under the armrest in the center of the car, that's it, you're done. If you need to work on the engine bay, the tool will not reach the engine bay. And you guys that work on cars know sometimes you want to have the tool where you are to actuate a valve or actuate a solenoid, and you want to be there with the tool doing it and listening for the part or whatever. So that can be a little bit of a problem. If you want to work at the rear of the car, I had that situation. You want to actuate a light or actuate whatever that might be, and once again the cable doesn't reach. I know you can have third-party cables that you can buy. This is just a normal, I think it's a DB16 if I'm not mistaken, or 15, whatever that is. I think it's 15. You can get third-party cables for this, much longer than this, or you can buy another cable and just join them together, tape them or whatever, and make double of the length. But come on, surely the engineers, they should have think about that and know that the average distance between the OBD and mainly the engine bay, to be fair, is much more than 1.5 meters or whatever this is. So that's for me is a con. And let's gonna move to a Pro, which for me is the price of the subscriptions. When you compare the price of the yearly subscription with other tools out there, this is much cheaper. Much cheaper. I never had a lot of experience with the hotel support for the simple fact that I never really needed them. But the few times I contacted them, they were absolutely brilliant. They were accurate, they were fast, they responded quick. And I don't have an issue. So the price for this tool, to subscribe for this tool, is about £400 a year, and you are entitled to any updates that are released, and you are entitled, like I already said, to any customer support that you need. And from here we'll move to a con, and I don't think that's going to be just this tool. I think it's going to be common to any DS708, which is the slow graphic data. The tool on its own is fast. It works fast. It's not a problem. When you go on live data, text live data or numerical live data, it updates quite quick, not a problem. But when you go to graphics, I always found the graphics very slow to update, and I never really relied on those graphics, to be fair with you. I found them a little bit slow. Don't know, it might be just me, guys, and maybe that actually is good, but I don't like the graphic data on this. First, you can't customize the graphic. You can't change the time or the X and Y lines. You can't change nothing. It auto updates itself, and it auto adjusts itself. You can't really play with it, and I didn't like that. I didn't really like the graphical data. Moving into Pro, and I mentioned this a little bit at the start already, and for me is the functions that the scanner comes with on different cars. And what I'm trying to say by this is the following: this is basic a scanner, so anything that you get on top of that is a bonus. And things like, I'm just going to mention a few things like reset the steering lock counts on BMWs. That's a bonus. It's just a scanner. If you wouldn't be able to do that, you would still doing the job of scanning. So that's a big bonus. Things like bleed the and adapt, bleed and adapt. I think it's called SPC modules on Mercedes, which is a brake by wire, basically a brake assist on Mercedes between 2004 and 2006 or 7, something like that. They came with these SPC units, and they can be a little bit of a pain in the ass to bleed if you don't have the tool. These can do it, and I talk by experience. I don't have a video for that, but I've done it, and it can adapt the module at the end. So it was very good. Things like program keys. I had experience where the function is there and it didn't work, and I had experience where it actually worked. So you can actually program keys with this. This is not a key programmer, so if you can program a few keys, that's a bonus again. Adaptations like gearbox, automatic gearbox, clutch adaptations. What else? The learn values adaptations, whatever. You can do a lot of that as well on different cars. So yeah, so these kind of functions that come with the tool, and many more that probably I never came across. And once again, you guys out there can comment on that. Other functions in there that the tool can do that obviously just adds value to the tool. And I'm going to go for another con, which is lack of DTC descriptions. And I think I mentioned down some of my videos. If you follow my channel, you probably remember those. I found that mainly on Peugeots and Vauxhalls. A lot of the times it shows you the DTC, but it tells you to refer to the user's manual, which obviously is no good. So a lot of the times, guys, is simple DTC descriptions. It's nothing rocket science. I can't remember from the top of my head now, but I think I had an EGR problem once where the EGR code was there, the P code, but wouldn't tell me that I was referring to the EGR. So simple things like this. I've raised a few of those with Hotel, but because I don't update the tool for a year now, the last time the subscription ran out in about February 2016, and I haven't updated yet. So it might be that they actually improved that. So if they have improved that, that's a good thing. If they haven't, it's still a downside of the tool. I've planned this to finalize these pros and cons with the Pro. And what the Pro is that you can update the tool through the tool itself. So the tool does have wireless built in, 2.4 gigahertz, and there's a tab here that you press that says update, and you can update the tool straight here. So there's no need, you can do it, but there's no need to remove SD cards and then put it on a computer and then load the program and this and the other. No, you can go straight from here as far as you have an active subscription. The tool will connect straight to the hotel servers and will update from here. Yes, it is a little bit slower than if you do it on the computer, but nevertheless you can do it through here, and that I think is a bonus as well. I've finished with my list of pros and cons of this tool. And like I have already said, if you want to add or criticize some of my choice, please use the comments below. Next, I'm going to do a final review based on my experience. Right, if you use this tool for light use, you can't go wrong with it at all. If you work on a workshop environment, today there is tools for all these cons I've already mentioned. You have tools out there that are probably a little bit better for you, but nevertheless this can help you. If you are more of a mechanic and you just need reader codes or small jobs, this will do the job. If you are more into electronics and electric side of things, probably this tool starts to be a little bit of a downside. It doesn't do a lot of things that you need nowadays from tools. Connectivity, and I would say connectivity and compatibilities. Asian cars, other than a few issues I had on cars with pre-OBD2 networks, I can remember a Toyota Corolla 1996, where I could not connect with the engine module, if I'm not mistaken. You would connect through everything else with this Toyota 23, still dirty and everything on the side. You would connect with all the other modules, but not the engine for some reason. I had Honda Civic, which I had to use this 3-pin plug. Once again, I think at the time was a module, I think it was the airbags that I couldn't connect, and I had to figure out just by measuring the car what was wrong with it, because I couldn't connect to the airbag module. And I don't think I had any. I made a video for it, and it was not even pre-OBD. I was, which was a Ford Fiesta. It came with the 16 OBD 16, but the DS708 would not connect to that car whatsoever. Also, I found the tool a little bit problematic connecting into USA cars. Ford and GM, we don't really have those here in the UK, but we have Chryslers and Jeeps. There's no Jeep here, but you do connect to Jeeps with the DS708 through the Chrysler program. Jeeps never really had an issue, 100% good. Chryslers, not so. Chryslers, I always had troubles. I even had cars that you would not connect at all. Nothing. Wouldn't matter which route I would try within the program, would not connect to Chryslers. With the OBD port only, or even with the Chrysler 16, you would just not connect. Full stop. Everything else, European, where is the ones I've tried the most, never had an issue. Brilliant. China, I don't think I ever had one. No, I never had a China card to scan. So yeah. So you would connect to pretty much everything, including the OBD2, pre-OBD2 adapters. I had someone on one of my videos saying all these adapters, they were a waste of time because the tool would not work with them. I can say that's not true. I'm not going to say it's 100% good, but I know for a fact that it connects to a few. And I mentioned already Toyota and Honda 3, I know it works. BMW 20 pins, spot on. Mitsubishi Hyundai 12 plus 16, I do know it works. Kia 20, I know it works. And Mercedes 38 pins, I know as well it does work. Another thing that I would probably say is, just one thing that I would like to say on this USA is, I do not know, and you guys there can probably say a little bit more. I don't know if the tool that is made for the USA market, I don't know if it's been optimized for the USA market and you do not have these problems. Here in the UK, this is a UK version. Here in the UK, I found what I've just said, but I don't know if the tool is supposed to go for a USA market, if it's been optimized to work with a USA market, and it might be that you don't have these problems. I'm actually interested to hear from you guys and have your comments. One last thing is reliable. I never had an issue other than the graphical data being a little bit slow. Other than that, the tool, it never crashed. I never had like, oh, come on, just do it. Never had that problem. The tool works 100% every single time. So overall, it's a brilliant tool. You can't go wrong unless you have a really busy workshop and you need something a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more capable, a little bit more compatible, and overall a better tool. But other than that, this is a brilliant tool. So that's it, guys. This was my last video for the DS708. Hope you enjoy it. Leave your comments below, and that's it. Goodbye, DS708. Hope you enjoy the video. And guys, like always, thank you so much for watching and for supporting my channel.